Good morning and Sairam students. Let us begin with our today's class. In today's class, we are going to learn the art of writing. Students, I know that most of us love to listen to the stories. Even now also I love to listen to the story and reading the books. At times it happens when we listen story from different person, we have different types of interest in that. When the person is telling the story and we just listen to that person without moving here and there, that means we have a great and a keen interest in that story. Why have you ever tried to question such thing? Why we get interest in that story? Why so much we are interested in listening to the story by the person? Because they have that art to tell the story in such a manner that creates interest in us, and we just want to listen to that person for hour and hour. We don't have any problem in that because they know how to narrate the story to you. That will create interest in your mind. In the same way, it must happen with you also, that when you take books from your school library for reading, it can be storybook or it can be storybook in English or in Hindi. You must have seen that you get interest in reading the storybook in such a way that you read the book in one day only. Why? Because the narrator, the writer has written the story in such a way that you get interested in that and you can't take your mind away from that. You just want to read it at once, to just end the suspense at once only. So all things come at the one question only: why we get interested in those stories which are narrated in such a good manner? Because narration is an art. When we narrate or when we write the story, that is an art. We should know how to write the story, how to create a story. Even at times we also create story in front of our parents or in front of our teachers also. So that is the art of creating the story. So today we are going to study how to write stories. So let us begin with this class. Story writing. So what is story writing? Story writing is an art because nobody is perfect in writing the story. At times you must have seen that when anybody who is not good in telling story tells you a story which is very interesting, but when he tells that story, that becomes very boring because he doesn't know how to narrate the story to you. He doesn't know how to tell or how to arrange the event in a proper manner in front of the audience. That's why the interesting story becomes very boring when a wrong person tells the story. But a person who has the art of narrating or writing the story in a proper event, he can make the boring story a very interesting one. So you should know that story writing is an art, and we can only perfect this art by practicing. When we practice a lot, when we write or narrate the story, then only we can be perfect in this art. Now story writing is a work of imagination. You always have seen most of the story are imaginative and they are written in a very easy language. If a story is written in a very difficult language, that becomes a boring story for you because you are not able to understand the difficult words, and that's why you leave that story. But when you read a story which has a very simple words and a very understandable grammatical order, you love that story. So always remember that if you are writing the story, that should be very simple in language and in a very natural flow of speech. There should not be any breakage of words, and it should be very direct and brief. Brief means very short. It should not be very long of 2 to 3 pages, so that even the person who is reading the story get bored by reading your stories. The story should be very brief. It should in such a way that when you are telling the actual event which has taken place it just been tell in one page, then only your story become more interesting. Not one page or 1.5 page, not more than that, because it will create boreness in the person who is reading that story. So always remember, whenever you are writing the story, it should be written in very easy language, first thing. And the second thing, that there should be natural flow of speech. You should not break the words, break the line in such a way that it become bore for a person who is reading that. So you should keep in mind that if you are reading that story, that how would you love that? Would you love that breakage, that you get difficult words in between and you are not able to read that story properly, it is very long, then it become bore for you also. So try to be very direct, very brief. That means you have to write the story in very short, in the very short type. It should not be very long, and it should be very easy in language. Now, there are certain points that you should remember while you write the story. The first thing is that always try to give title to your story. Never forget to give a very good title. Always remember, the title should be eye-catchy. It should not be very long. It can be a single word or it can be a group of words, but not a complete sentence. Remember this, that the title should be eye-catchy, very interesting. Secondly, it should be a single word or a group of words, but not a complete sentence. Now, whenever you are writing a story, the first point comes that you should have a clear idea. What are you writing? About what you are writing? What is the main theme of writing that story? If you are writing about poverty, about a person who is very poor, about his life, you should just focus on that, not about other person living there, about the main person you are talking about. You should just concentrate over there only. That will make your story more interesting. The first point is that you should have a clear-cut idea that about whom you are writing and what you are writing. Second thing is that no introduction is required. Just start your story straightforward. Third thing is that the story should be evenly developed. And what is the meaning of evenly developed? First thing is that you will tell what is the setting where you are telling the story, even by event. Just don't add too many things in a single line. If you are telling the story about a single person, then first you should introduce that person properly. Then what he is doing, or what about him you are telling, about his life, about his studies, whatever main point you are focusing of his life, you should tell that. Don't try to add too many things in a single line. That will make your story ambiguous and not interesting. It will become very uninteresting and it will become boring for you and for the reader also. So always try to go event by event. That, for example, Raju was a boy and he was going to his friend's house. I introduced Raju here. Then I told you that he was going to his friend's house. In the next line, we will tell who is he. His friend is Shyam. He is going to Shyam for what? He is going to Shyam for helping him in his homework. So how we will write? Raju is a boy who is going to his friend's house. His friend is Shyam and Raju is going there to help him in his homework. On his way, he met his uncle, and Raju also invited his uncle to go to his friend's house. So this is how one by one you will add the character and you will make your story interesting. Don't just try to write everything in one line only. Okay, now the next point is, a small, if introduced in the story, gives beauty. Yes, A small dialogue, if introduced in the story, gives beauty and naturalness. So if you are trying to give a dialogues to the character you have in the story, just try to give small dialogue, not very lengthy dialogue, so that it will become play or drama for you. The story should look like a story only. If you are introducing dialogues in your story, they should be very small, not very lengthy, and there should be too many. There should not be too many dialogues. There should be one or two dialogues in the story. That's it. If you are giving the title of the story, that should be very carefully chosen, and it should be very impressive. That I have cleared you in the first point only, that if you are giving the title, it should be very small and crisp. It should be very impressive and it should be eye-catching. The story should be written in the past tense. So if you are writing the story, you should write in the past tense, not in the present or future tense. The language should be simple and correct. So if you are using or if you are writing the story in past tense, be very careful in while writing the story, because at times it happens when we are writing the story in past tense, we try to introduce present and future tense also. That makes a story goes in a wrong direction. So you should always be very careful while writing the story, that if you are writing the story in past tense, then the whole story should be written in the past tense only. Now, sometime what happened that a moral is given to you and you have to illustrate the moral with a story. So it's a type of story writing that at times it happens that hints are given to you to write the story. At times it happens that a moral is given to you, and after reading that moral you have to make the story based on that moral. And the third type of story writing is that opening line is given to you, one or two opening line is given to you, and you have to continue the story from there only. So I will introduce each and every type of story writing to you. Now just focus here. The first story here is this type of story writing is a hint. Here a hint box is given to you. As you can see here, hint box is given to you, dash boxes are given to you. Now don't consider it to be a filling the blanks. This is not a filling the blanks, this is a hint box. There are three types of story writing. First type is hint type. Here hints are given to you, and on the basis of that you have to form a story. You have to take the hints from the story box and you have to form a story on your own. Don't consider this to be filling the blanks. This is not filling the blanks. This is a hint box. So as you can see, there are hints given here, like Robert Bruce, main character is given. He is a famous king of Scotland, very brave and courageous. The rule of England, jealousy and invaded Scotland. King Bruce attempted 6 times to free his country from England's rule but failed. He ran away, hides in a forest, sees a spider in a cave, trying to reach its cobweb. 9 failures, succeed at 10th attempt. Robert Bruce, inspired by the spider, raises an army and invade his enemy, become victorious. So this is a hint box. Now what hint you are getting? That we have to write a story about Robert Bruce, and Robert Bruce is a famous king of Scotland. Scotland is in Europe. He is very brave and courageous. One day the rule of England, who was jealous of Scotland, invaded Scotland. So let us see how we have to form the story. First of all, as I have told you, you have to write the title of the story. So I have given the title, Try Again. Now let us begin with the story. The story tells Robert Bruce was a famous king of Scotland in Europe. He was known for his bravery and courage. Being jealous of him, The King of England raised a large army and invaded Scotland. Unfortunately, Bruce suffered a defeat and Scotland came under the British rule. King Bruce made 6 attempts to free his country from the British rule, but all in vain. That means he didn't succeed in that. Disappointed, the king ran to the forest and hid himself in a cave. Suddenly, the king's eye fell on a spider hanging from a thread. It was trying to reach its cobweb. Every time it went up, it slipped down. But it tried again and again. 9 failures did not discourage the spider. It made a 10th attempt. The king said, "Silly spider, why doesn't it leave the attempt?" But the king was surprised to see the spider reach the cobweb, its home. "Bravo!" cried the king in praise. "All honor to those who try. Surely I too must try again to win my throne." So Robert Bruce raised an army once again, invaded his enemy, the King of England, and won a grand victory. So Robert Bruce once again became the King of Scotland. So as you can see that from the hints given in the box, we have tried to write the story. Now the second type is on the moral. Here the moral was given to us: pride goes before a fall. That means if you are very proud of yourself, then it is sure that you will fail very badly. So we have to form a story on that. So now the second type of story is on the moral based. So pride goes before a fall, as I have told you, means when a person is very much proud of himself or he is very proudy, that means that it is sure that he will fail very badly. So you should be never proud of yourself. Be very calm and quiet and gentle to yourself. So sorry. Once there was a stag that lived in the forest. So now what we are doing, actually we have to make a story on the moral given here. Now you can think of any other story about the person who is very proud of himself and he fall, and there is a particular end of his life. So you can give a good story. I have given a story here. Let us read that, and if you get any other story on this moral, you can write in your notebook. Once there was a stag that lived in a forest. Who is a stag? Stag is a deer. You can also tell reindeer, who is having too many horns on his head. One day he went to drink water in a clear pool. He saw his reflection in the pool and he was so fascinated with his horns that he started admiring them. Now what happened? When the stag went to drink water in the pool water was very clear, and there he saw his horns and he started admiring his horns, that oh, I got a very beautiful horns, nobody has such a horns. And he is now becoming proud of himself because he thinks that his horns are very unique and nobody can have such a unique horn, they are my beauty. He is thinking such things in his mind, and what happened, that he didn't notice a hunter who was aiming at him. When he noticed it, he ran, but his horns got stuck up in the branch of a tree, protruding above his head while running. Protruding means sticking. So the branch of the branch of a tree got stick to the head of the stag, because he was trying to run away from there, and the horns just stick with the branch of a tree. And what happened? The hunter shot at him and he died there. And when he died, he thought, I was proud of my horns, and that was the cause of my death. So at last he remembers that yes, I was too proud of myself when I was looking in the water, and at that moment only I got this shot from the hunter. So now you can see the story is very short. It has tell you the main event, that the main character of the story is a deer or a stag. What he was doing, he went to the water to drink water, and he went to the pool to drink water. He admired himself, and the hunter shot him, and he died here. And he remembered that I was very proud of myself, and that's why I died. So you should know that that your story is should be so much crisp that it is not very long, and it doesn't make anyone feel very bored. You should write only main points, main thing. Don't add anything which is not needed in your story. No more characters. If you will add more and more characters to your story, the story will become very boring. But if you will add 2 or 3 characters, or less than that also, like here we have only a stag and a hunter who has just one role, that he shot the deer, and this much role is enough for a person in a story. So and because of this, your story become more interesting and more clear to the person who is reading the story. So now this was the second example, second type, that on a moral proverb. The last comes on the opening sentence of a line. Like here we have an opening sentence. This is how a opening sentence will be given to you, and you will be asked to write a story after this. You have to continue after enjoying. What is the line? Let us read. Once upon a time, there was a peacock that was enjoying. Now, you have to continue after enjoying. You don't have to add anything before this line. This will be your starting line, and after that, you have to write the story. First of all, again I told you there should be a proper title. Here we have a proper title, that is Strange Encounter. What strange encounter means? Now you, after reading the opening sentence, you saw that peacock was enjoying. Then how it become a strange encounter? How it become a strange meeting of a person? So let us read. As you can see that the first line, the opening line here is same. Once upon a time, there was a peacock that was enjoying. After enjoying, you will start writing your own story. Was enjoying the pleasant weather in a forest. Flying happily, he reached across the river. Suddenly, a godlike lady emerged from the river and started talking to the peacock. She asked the peacock to ask for a boon. Now what is a boon? Boon is for a wish. So the lady which emerges from the river, she asked the peacock that you can ask me for anything. Now the peacock was surprised as he wondered at the purpose of his blessing. Yet the peacock said that he wanted to be an eagle. Now when the lady asked the peacock for a wish, the peacock was very surprised that why she is asking me for a wish, what is the purpose? But still ignoring that thing, peacock said that I want to be an eagle. However, the lady asked him to get converted into a human being so that he can explain the plight of the birds and teach human being a good lesson. So now the lady said to the peacock that why you want to be an eagle? Be a human being. If you will become a human being, then you will make people understand that how the birds are suffering so much. But the peacock looked up to the sky and said he wanted to fly high over the clouds, and his heavy wings stopped him from doing so. So now the peacock explained that I want to be an eagle because I want to fly high in the sky. As I am a peacock now, my wings are very heavy and they don't allow me to fly in the high sky. So that's why I want to be an eagle. The lady granted his wish half-heartedly. Now the lady was not happy with that wish, but still she said, okay, I am granting you this wish, but not with full-heartedly, that was half-heartedly. The peacock got transformed into an eagle. He looked at himself and excitedly made a loud cry like a proud eagle. He took his first flight and went straight up over the clouds. As soon as he reached a good height, he was hit by a gunshot and fell down to the ground, eventually dying an unfortunate death. The lady emerged again, restored life in him, and converted him into a peacock. She further asked him to be contented in life. The peacock learned his lesson and was relieved to be back to his former self. Now, when the peacock tried to fly high in the sky after becoming eagle, what happened? The peacock was gunshot by a person and she died there. But that lady again gave life to the peacock and tell her that now you should be satisfied in your own life whatever you are. And the peacock learned the lesson and tried to live her before life happily. So this was the 3 types of story we learned. The first, that is hint. If we are given a hint box, we have to make story taking the help of the hint. Secondly, that we have been given with a moral and we have to write a story based on that moral. And the last type is that opening sentence will be given to us and we have to continue from there and have to complete our story. So now I hope that you have understood that how you have to write a good story. And I also hope that you understood the examples I have explained here to you. Thank you, students.